Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Anastasia podcast. Today, I have my favorite guest
Your only guess so far.
so far, my husband, Matthew.
Please, you have to tell my full name?
Matthew Evan.
Okay. Start it over.
Social security number 037.
That's my favorite color.
Okay, we're doing things a little bit different because I'm trying to find a flow of how I want this podcast to be. I think sometimes for me, one, we're just in a different season of life. It's super busy right now with the baby, and every day is a new day. And then we have stuff with the dog and just, and your schedule. But I'm trying to find a flow where it doesn't have to be these crazy formal topics. We can just share kind of what's going on in our life, share a topic, whether it's you or I have like one of my friends on or someone that I want to interview and get their take on entrepreneurship or like business or faith or whatever, marriage.
Mom life.
Yes, and all of the above. And I don't know, bring it to you guys, but I need to find like a flow where I can kind of really stomach something like that weekly. So today, Grandma took Noli, which was amazing. Our dog, where's Volkie?
I don't want to talk about it.
Volkie is at the hospital. He had surgery last night. So we'll get back to that. But we have it's the nicest day of the year. It's going to be 70 degrees today and we're inside filming. So we're going to try to do
It's
this.
like the best day of my life. My dog's in the hospital. My baby's not around. The weather's beautiful and I'm inside filming.
He has total depression. He hates filming. But
But I'm your only guest, so here I am.
his
Please, we're
obligation.
taking the applications to anybody that's interested.
Anyways, today I set up the whole studio myself. I set up 2 spotlights. I set up the cameras. You did have to help me with a few cords, and I didn't set up backlighting because I'm trying to find a flow where it's just a little bit easier for me to set up every single week instead of normally when we filmed, it almost takes an entire hour to set up this whole room.
Probably more.
Yeah, never mind deconstructing everything. We need to set up a charging station for our microphones and the cameras. So every single time I want to film something, everything's
Yeah, you
good
can
to
do
go.
it quickly, get it done.
Yeah, so that stuff takes time. And I think a lot of times in my head, I think all these things and all these systems already have to be put in place and implemented for me to be able to have a
What?
successful.
To have a sexy podcast.
Yeah. I am so dyslexic. In order to have a successful podcast, and then I won't even go and start doing it because it's so overwhelming thinking about all the moving parts.
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Yes. So in an effort to just get stuff done and organically show up how I am, sometimes they're going to look messy, but my goal is going to be what do they say? Done is better than, no, imperfect and done is better than perfect and not done.
Yep.
Right? So done. All right. So a few things that I want to talk about today is one, I want to talk about relationships because we just filmed a podcast with my little brother the other week and
It was 4 hours long.
no, and it was really funny because Noli woke up. She was supposed to take her longest nap. She woke up and then we end up literally this is me the whole podcast and then you're holding her and you're going like this and I don't even know what it's going to look like when we watch it because it's so visually distracting having someone move. But I really liked, my brother asked us a lot of questions about our relationship and being together for 12 years and just our life and business and all these things that we've done. And I've always wanted to do a podcast with you. And I know it'll be the first of many regarding relationships and marriage and just kind of what it takes to make a relationship work as long as we've had our relationship work and what it entails and how it's not always easy and, but it's worth it. So that's what today's topic is going to be about. But I do want to do a little fill-in on some stuff that's been going on in our life the past couple weeks because this is why I want to start doing this. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, honey.
Go ahead. Let it rip. Let it rip.
Me wanting to start this podcast was because I wanted to shift away from showing up in my stories on Instagram. I love Instagram and posting in my stories versus posting in my feed because I like that quick interaction and keeping people, I don't want to say updated about my life, but I'm just a sharer. So in the day-to-day when funny stuff happens or whatever, I love sharing that moment with people. But the reality is Instagram is extremely time consuming. And that was the whole focus behind this. I wanted to take the limited free time I had.
Do a different thing that's also very time consuming.
Yes, initially while I'm starting, but it's not going to be, it's like riding a bike. Once I get in the flow and I put all the momentum in the beginning, then like I'll be cruising.
And you can film it and post it and get back off your phone.
Yes.
And you don't have to be on your phone all day long.
And that would be the goal. And a lot of things in life have been changing that will finally allow me to, like, the goal is eventually, I'd like when I start putting Noli down at night, like I can have some time with my laptop to actually edit these podcasts. That was such a pipe dream for so many months. And it was just freaking impossible with pumping every single night. And then like I put her down, she's fussy. Like I'm going back in our room 4 or 5 times to adjust her. And you walk downstairs and it's like an absolute bomb went off. And you're like cleaning that up just so you can start from ground zero the following day. So like I'm ending my pumping journey. I honestly am already seeing so many benefits to it. Like, yes, it's sad ending that part, but I just
A little bit of mental clarity.
mental clarity. Like I feel like my mom brain is like declining a little bit, but it's still definitely there. And I'm just
Sexy podcast.
yeah. And I'm just, like our mornings flow easier. I'm getting in a groove with her hikes or like the dog's hikes and timing it with her naps. And honestly, like this was just, it was time, it was just too hard with you going back to work. And yeah, so that's that. So do you want to start off by telling everyone what happened with our dog?
Tuesday night, we went out to dinner to Chipotle with the baby.
After we ran some errands, and I will say it was very healing for, I don't know if you needed the healing. I did.
I did not need to go to Home Goods.
Oh my gosh, Noli did so good at 2 stores.
Yeah.
She was like so observant.
Grabbing everything in your hands.
And she was so good while we were eating dinner that I cried because I was like, oh my God, we're out eating dinner and she's okay.
Second time we've been out. First time she didn't cry.
I mean, I've taken her out. Like I've gone to the store.
Well, I mean, out to dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we went out to breakfast/lunch
A meal
for my birthday, and she lost it, and we left. And this is the second time we've ever been to an eating establishment with her where she didn't cry.
She did good.
But we left the dog home alone.
Which you didn't want to do.
You said best part of the day, worst part of the day. I think I said the best part was spending time with you and Noli, and the worst part was leaving him home.
Sometimes after we have like a good day or like an event-filled day, or even like when we go camping and we get like, we'll be going camping, we get in a fight beforehand, and I'll be like, all right, best part of your day, worst part of your day.
That's every camping trip, by the way. Any trip that involves more than 1 hour of driving.
He sat there and he's like, I enjoyed spending time with you guys, but like I really missed the dog. And that was like so sweet because he really is your best friend. I love Volkie, but I think my life has shifted a lot on Noli because it's my daily priority, but Volk is so intertwined still with my
job
day.
to make sure that he isn't forgotten or left behind.
Oh, he's not. I hike him every day and I play fetch with him every single day and I make his food from scratch every day.
Yeah, but those are like mom duties. He also needs like
rough housing
and
WWE.
He was stuck at home all day or night. We came home.
2 hours.
That's a long time.
All night, 2 hours.
That's a long time to
and
be
you
left
played
alone.
rigorously with him in the yard right before we left.
He's so used to just having everybody home now. Nobody ever leaves him. He doesn't get left behind for anything, really. So we came home. We fed him. We roughhoused. I bought him a bunch of new toys at, was it Home Goods we got him?
Yeah, you got him 3 new toys.
Yeah, I got like a tug toy, like a frisbee kind of thing, a long fire hose snake that he loved, and what was the other one? Like a ball that like wobbles and makes weird sounds. So he loved the snake. We fought, we wrestled. He cut my knee wide open. I was bleeding everywhere, and it was a good night. The next morning, we woke up and he was puking, like throwing up, which he does not almost every morning, but he does pretty significantly when he wakes up in the morning and he doesn't eat. He ends up throwing up. And he refuses to eat because he doesn't want, if he thinks that if we feed him, we might not take him out to exercise or bring him on a hike. So he like protests and waits till you take him out.
I think he wants to feel like thin and nimble. Like he wants to be agile because he's like, oh, am I going to go on a 5-mile run with dad? Like with the story on? Or are we going to do like a hike with mom? That's just 2 miles, But I don't think he wants to be weighed down by food because we'll put his food out and he will not touch it.
Yeah, won't touch it. Custom homemade chicken or beef and rice and a raw patty that costs more than human food.
Yeah.
And he just looks at it like, nah, not till later.
We have to like bait him with treats and that's like a 10% success rate?
didn't feel good. He went outside, he threw up, which we didn't even think anything about it because he does that. And then we took him for a hike.
Yeah, me and Noli went on a hike with him. He was like super bad that hike. Volk like could hike all the hikes by himself. This dog basically walks himself, and
Well,
I
he
had to
does the
do.
trails every single day, so he knows exactly where he's going.
He picks up coyote scents, I swear, and then he just goes. And other dogs that do these trails.
But
So
when he hikes with Dad, he's kept within, 20 feet or so, definitely within eyesight. I make sure he can't get far enough away and make him come back. Sometimes Mom's a little preoccupied with the baby.
yeah, I'm wearing a 15-pound baby on my stomach.
So anyway, he does his hike. He comes home, still refuses to eat. Then he starts drinking like profusely, like nonstop, like almost uncontrollably. And he just keeps going outside to throw up over and over again. And it's to the point where there's like nothing in his stomach now. He's usually in the morning, he'll throw up like bile, like it's like a yellowy, nasty foam. But he was just throwing up saliva and water. And
I
that was
honestly,
all that came out.
I thought he was like, you left for work, and I was like, he's faking it. Because you were doing yard work that day.
Yeah,
So
he's scared to death of the tractor.
when we got back from the hike, he started taking the long way around up our back hill. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere near that tractor. I hear those sounds. And I'm like, Volkie, this way. And it was so funny because for me, like being inside with him, he kept running up to the window, looking out the window, seeing you on the tractor, and just running away, like going and hiding under our bed. So I thought he was just playing into, he was upset that we left him the night before because we normally bring him on all our errands.
Yep.
And then he was like pissed that you were using the tractor for so long. And I was talking to him because he couldn't get a read on the day. And I was like, Daddy's going to work later, but you're going to be home with Mama. Like, we're going to be home together.
He doesn't speak English, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
He totally knows what I'm saying. But honestly, it just never got better. And I had like our upholstery cleaner out, like the vacuum. I must have cleaned barf in 10 different spots. And towards the end of the day, it was easier because it's just water. But the compulsive water drinking, like,
You had to go close. This dog like only drinks out of his water bowl. He only gets reverse osmosis filtered water from the sink. And this guy was trying to drink out of every toilet in the house just to get more water and then immediately throw it back up again. Because he was super dehydrated, but what we didn't know is his body wasn't letting him take in anything else.
yeah, then like by the time nighttime came around, because watching a baby is a full-time job, you went to work, like just all the things. He wasn't having like heavy breathing or anything like that. So by the time the day like ended and everything settled, I was finally able to start looking stuff up online. Volkie has like a history of Lyme-like symptoms. We've thought he had Lyme before. He has neurological issues. So we were thinking it might be something kidney related, his body's inability to process water. I don't know, just spit it back out. And like he's thirsty because he's dehydrated, but he can't hold it down. So the following morning, we bring
Well, you
him.
sent me like a bunch of links to different Lyme-related kidney issues, and I'm like at work losing my mind because I can't help him. And like all these articles say like basically take in the time with your dog because you got a couple days till he doesn't make it anymore.
God's got him. God's got us. And you know what?
And then I'm like asking you, I'm like, hey, when's the last time you went to the bathroom? And you already went to bed and didn't answer your phone. And now I'm just sitting there with my thoughts at night.
Basically, I woke up and he was snuggled next to me on the bed and Noli. And I was like, oh,
Which he doesn't do.
he definitely doesn't feel good. So we called all our family. Like it was by chance the day that everybody's going to the office. No one's working from home. So I brought Noli with me to the vet. We spent an hour and a half at the vet near Chick-fil-A, only for me right before we got seen to be like, why did I come here? Ocean State has a neurologist. He has neurological issues. If they have to do any surgery, we're going to have to go there anyways. And then they were like, yeah, honestly, like, you should just go. And I'm like, okay. So then I went to the other hospital. Your mom came and got Noli.
The first one sent you a bill for $1,000.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Someone checks you in and they're like, oh, like, what are you here for? And I'm like, I think he has like a kidney issue. The doctor did like feel him and he was like, oh, I think he might have an obstruction because he felt his belly and Volkie like squealed. But other than that, like he told me it's going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I was like, okay, that's like normal at ERs. I sat down on a bench and my phone goes off and it's like, please pay your bill. And it was for $1,000. And we had not even been in there for 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to wait. But then they ended up avoiding that whole bill because I didn't even do anything there.
Perfect. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. But long story short, they took him right away at Ocean State. They did an examination. He was severely dehydrated. They did an ultrasound. They found a block at the like back half of his intestine, and it was a rock. And our dog freaking loves to eat rocks.
No, he doesn't love to eat rocks. He loves to play with rocks. And then when he gets so excited, he'll swallow one.
I wonder if that is like his version of cute aggression. Because, you know, like sometimes when we're holding Noli, we're like,
aggression. He doesn't look at rocks and think they're cute.
oh my gosh. It's like sometimes I just want to eat Noli. Like that is definitely him with rocks. Like, I love rocks so much. I'm just going to have just one.
Oh, yeah.
So Matt is a little bit like not his
Upset
total
about
self
it.
today because he really misses his dog, and he's
Yeah, my dude just went in for surgery last night and had a part of his body cut out and sewn back together.
yeah.
And I haven't even seen him yet to make sure he's okay.
We did get his stomach tacked to. That was a cool little bonus.
Yeah, they were giving BOGO sales or at the vet. They're like, well, while we're in there, we may as well do a couple other upgrades. Like, you want to take his nuts off? Do you want to?
It was funny because they're like, do you want to neuter him? We were like, no. Whoa. We draw the line there.
Relax.
No, they were great.
We're going to see him today in like literally less than an hour now.
Yeah, 20 minutes, and you know it's going to be a little bit of a road to recovery
for 2 weeks where he can't exercise or do anything, which is going to kill him. I'm not sure.
They said no walks at all, no hikes,
no stairs.
I mean, Volkie's going to love it. You're going to carry him everywhere. I can't lift him. He's like 75 pounds.
I don't even know if I'll be allowed to carry him.
Oh yeah,
Might rip his belly.
I kind of can't wait to see his naked belly, like all shaved.
Like he's a puppy again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw his skin. He still has like stripes on his skin.
I'll be posting those updates because I would like to still post pictures and stuff on Instagram. So that's where Matt's head is at. And Matt is also just fed up with me always asking him to be in my podcast and then never editing them and posting them. Because I'm like,
it's called burnout.
Yeah, I'm like, what, 6 for O right now? Like 7 for O, but
close.
This is a good segue into relationships and how you've had to hold
filling
on.
up each other's cups.
Yeah. I did also want to say we started watching a new show this week. We finished Severance on Apple TV, and that was like a mind thriller, like eerie, like.
It's like the most intense show you've watched.
Yeah, I don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it. I like it because I want to know.
Watching it with me, but you don't want to watch it.
And every time we watch it, I'm like, the lights have to be on because it's a little scary.
Googling what happens in the episode before it.
Hey, I am who I am.
Criminal.
And what show did we start watching?
I don't remember the name of it.
Like Your Friend and Neighbor or something?
Oh, your Friends and Neighbors or something.
And what do you like about it?
I don't know. It's like a lifestyles of the rich and famous kind of person. And then a little criminal side comes out of him.
Where is that guy an actor from?
A bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but what's he like known for?
Mad Men, maybe?
Yeah, so it's that guy. And what I like about it is like he ends up in this like life of crime that he never could have imagined himself in. And there's like that relatability of like.
She likes it because like she could see herself in a life of crime. Like,
I mean,
if it wasn't for me, you could be a pretty big criminal, I think.
And I think if it wasn't for me.
I would never be a criminal. Are you kidding me?
I think if your career choice didn't happen, I think you would have been like a little, what is the word that starts with a V? Is it
Villain?
No.
Vigilante?
Yeah, is that the word? Vigilante, for some reason I was thinking like, but that's vigilant. Yeah, you would have been a little vigilante. You would have like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a reason you like love Sons of Anarchy and all that. Like you have like a bad streak in you that like
I fight to keep down.
Yes. Yeah, it's like the good guy, the bad guy. And Matt's always talking to the bad guy. And he's like, stop. Like, that is totally you. I talk to my bad guy a lot, but like I don't hide it, you know, and then I work through it.
Why don't you just air all my dirty laundry?
Hey, that is what this is about, okay? I used to live a life of crime, and then at 21, I learned a really good lesson, and I've been a straight walker ever since.
Straight walker. Catch her on, the heck is it? Caught in Providence.
Court TV. Yeah, same thing.
Caught in Providence. Look it up. YouTube.
Honestly.
What was the name of the episode?
I don't know, but like the thing that made me the most sad about that is it was like the dead of the winter. I was this color white on my skin, and I had horrible makeup that day.
And all these guys from India are in the comments, and they
like Saudi Arabia are like, bring her to me. I'm like,
this will be my queen. Bring her to me here.
Honestly, if I just like got ready a little bit.
She didn't capitalize on any of that. We got no.
That's what I'm
money.
saying. Like maybe some Saudi prince would have wanted to send me a little bit of money or something. You know what I mean? Maybe we could have started a little fund for Noli.
Maybe.
It would have all worked out.
It's not too late.
So I really like that show, and I'm really looking forward to it because it doesn't seem as scary. It's basically a guy who was like in finance and his life fell apart in front of his eyes, like out of nowhere. His wife ends up in bed with his best friend, and just this life that
Loses
he
his
worked
job.
so hard to build, yeah, gets like taken from him. And it's a little bit of like keeping up with the Joneses. Like he had to still maintain his lifestyle.
Yep.
So he ends up a little bit in this like life of crime, stealing from their like, I don't know, their affluent.
They're friends and neighbors.
Yes, yeah. So it's really good. If you have Apple TV, we recommend.
We recommend it very much.
This is very common for me, these like spelling or verbal slurs.
Yeah, sexy podcast. I'll say it again.
Yes, I'm so sober too. We really recommend you watch it. And we're like not huge
There's only
TV people.
well, there's only 2 episodes. The third one's, what day is today? Third one's out today.
Yes, we're gonna watch it tonight.
Probably.
We started watching shows together during your paternity leave, and that is one thing that I like because neither of us have ever been people who slow down enough to like sit and watch a show together.
Yeah.
We would spend like 2 months being like, we should really have a movie night. We should really have a movie night.
We still do that though.
Yeah.
And we never get to it.
Yeah.
What'd you say on the couch the other night? We were both, I was on my iPad, you're on the computer, like, this is a great movie.
Oh, yeah, because we were
Like,
supposed to watch a movie, but I'm catching up on emails. You're catching up on stuff. Like you're always researching like forms for something that you're going to build and pour. And then it's like an hour goes by and we're like, time for bed. Something else that kind of happened this past week was not this past week, the past few weeks, Noli started her 4-month sleep regression, I think well into her 3rd month. And it's not like a hard or fast thing. It's not like right at 4 months.
It started a little sooner, I think.
I think it started a couple weeks after 3 months. And that was just horrible because it's like you get thrown back in the throes and it doesn't just affect overnight. It affects all the naps. It affects her mood during the day. Like you're just
She went from like a
good baby.
decent baby to like,
my number
what's
one
the return
bully.
policy on one of these?
Yes, I would call her my number one bully because it's just like if Noli wasn't happy, no one was happy, literally Volkie included. But what made that even crazier was like you would have these crazy schedules where every single week you'd have a stretch of 2 to 3 days where you'd be at a commission from the family working doubles back to back to back.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't realize how that was making my life harder too. And granted, it's a season of sacrifice. You know, we're doing what we need to do to make things work for our family. Oh my gosh, did I hit like my lowest low of like depression and just like.
It's because when I came home, I only have 8 hours between when I have to go back to work. It's an hour worth of commuting, plus another 20 minutes on each end of like getting ready. So,
yeah, you don't like walk through the door and get right in bed. You have to like change. You got to brush your
take
teeth.
him out. He meets me at the front door with a toy. He wants to play. Make him some food.
You got to see the baby. You got to see your wife. You know, we talk for a little bit.
The big baby.
You basically sleep for 5 hours and then you go in and work like 16 plus hours again. And it's like that day after day after day. Like I know it's a ton on you. And then like you try to wake up a little bit to spend a tiny bit of time with the family, but it's like I would even prefer sometimes if you guys had a horrible night, like you just sleep because you obviously need that to go back to work and be on, like on your A game. So it's like I like take over a routine of wake up with Noli, feed her, get her ready, get me ready, do the hike with the dog, come home, feed her again, change her. We check your bag for work.
Running in the room and waking me up.
Yeah, trying to keep her calm and not cry because we don't want to wake you. And it was just so crazy. And that week after week after week, that was probably the worst like postpartum I felt since having Noli because you totally feel isolated there. And like, yes, you reach out to your friends.
Pumping though.
I don't know. It's all like compartmentalized in different categories of horrible. Like that, because I would literally
You're gonna
be like,
forget all of it though.
yeah, but I would be like, my life is Groundhog Day. Like I am living the same freaking life every single day of Noli just like running the show. And thank God for your mom taking her once a week. But even that, I would have such a string of bad days with Noli that when your mom would take her, I would all week be like, okay, and then when Miss Sue takes her, I'm going to get this done. No, your mom would take her and I'd fold laundry and sleep. And I'm like, this freaking bites. Like, we're finally seeing hope, but like that was crazy. And simultaneously, while that happened, I also realized my hair loss has started. You lose hair at 4 months postpartum, and I am like straight bald right here and here.
Not actually, but
oh my gosh, we ordered hair serum. All my mom friends
I've been doing some hair serum. Does it look good?
Yeah, you've done it once.
I did it twice.
Okay.
It's looking extra full.
All my mom friends say that it does come back like a lot of hair and it's thick and it's a ton of it. between 6 months to 12 months, which I'm looking forward to. But everywhere online says that like the majority of your hair loss is around 4 months. So I'm like, this is great. Like just add this.
To the not sleeping.
Yeah. And it's just, I notice it a lot because, you see yourself, but it is what it is. And what are you
I
going to
didn't
do?
even notice it at all till you pointed it out. And now you just pointed out nonstop.
Here it is. Bold, bald.
That's not
I say
actually
these
bald.
little hairs over here that cover it. It's like a toupee.
Yep.
And then I have it here too. Don't be alarmed.
Looking good.
Don't be alarmed. All right. That, and then, yeah, that was basically it. That was our life for the past few weeks.
Yep. It's been rough.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel
Oh,
like
we did our taxes. We owed on taxes. So we paid a bunch in taxes. Now we're going to pay a bunch for dog surgery.
honestly, one thing I will say, thank God that we have dog like pet insurance.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
like,
fingers crossed. We haven't gotten the bill yet. We'll see.
yeah, they gave us a quote for his surgery. The low end was like
7.
so high sixes. And then the high
Yeah,
end was
very high
like
sixes.
mid-range around like 8,000. We have had pet insurance for 3.5 years and we've never been able to use it
We used it
because
one time.
when?
I looked at our claim. We had like a $260 bill and we had a $200 deductible. They covered like $60.
Oh, that's funny. I don't even remember that. I probably never even checked back because there was no point.
Yeah.
But it's like you just never know, but thankfully everything worked out. And if anyone has a pet and you're thinking about getting pet insurance, we have Trupanion.
Get it before you get your pet or right the minute you get your pet.
Yes.
Don't take them to the vet first.
True. Yeah. Because you don't want to they don't cover
Pre-existing things before you had insurance.
What made you pick Trupanion over is it US?
No, there was maybe one of them was like nationwide or something and something else, but I just read reviews and stuff and a lot of people were suggesting Trupanion.
Yeah.
I mean, the consensus is they all are still an insurance company and they're going to do everything they can to not cover stuff. But Trupanion seemed to be the one that was doing that the least.
And even in our 3.5 years, the rates have gone up a lot. It was
He started at like
under 40?
high 60s a month or something.
Oh,
Then it went up to like 70, then it went up to 80. Now it's like $100 a month.
no, it was definitely $40 when we first got him.
Definitely wasn't.
I'm going to go back and look and I will die on this hill because I remember being like, $40, that's great.
Here's your sword, die on the hill.
Oh my gosh.
You want me to pull it up right now on my phone?
Maybe.
I don't have it, but I would if I could.
This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, seriously, just drop it. What if it was? But I can't because in my head I'm like, no, I literally think it was 40 because then it went up. Then it went up to like 56, and we were like, okay, it wasn't like a couple dollars. It was like okay, and then it went up to like 88, and we're like, all right, we're basically paying $100 a month for insurance that we can't even use ever. But you would never let me drop it because you're like, the day that we drop it, something's going to happen. And we were basically holding on to it for when he gets older, when he needs to get his teeth fixed because he eats everything like
He doesn't eat things. He chews on things.
Yeah, he chews everything. That is true. He's honestly, even him eating the rock, he doesn't eat rocks and sticks. He will destroy
It's never
anything.
on purpose.
And
He chews on
toys-
things and spits them out.
Yes, and we'll be like, Volkie, no eating, and he'll be ripping something, and he puts his head up and he looks at you, and he's chewing, and he spits it out, and we're like, good boy, and then he just keeps
Leaves
doing
it
it
in a pile on the floor of debris.
So, but I don't know, my little brother just got his license, and I was thinking about this yesterday. He just got his first car. He bought my brother's car off of him because my brother got a new car, and I'm like, dude, Volkie's surgery is more than my little brother paid for his car.
Yeah.
That is wild.
He's an expensive ass dog.
He is.
It's cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he's actually cost us more than Noli.
100%.
Yeah, till Noli starts horseback riding.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah, right. You're always the one. I want to buy her a pony. We should go talk to the people at the equestrian place. You're all into, yeah, faker.
Why don't you tell these people I'm just a softie?
Okay, we have 10 minutes before we have to go. So I want to
wrap it up.
Yeah, the purpose of this podcast, we're going to hit in 9 minutes, the relationships. We just
9 minutes.
Yeah, well, and you know what? This is going to be
That's like how long we've been together. That's what it feels like because I just love you so much.
I can't strangle you on camera.
Try.
This is going to be what it is. Through doing these and doing long form too much about things that like I will like learn how to shorten stories that are not worth talking about for a long time.
Time will tell if she learns how to do that.
Yeah, time will tell because I don't want to keep having like hour-long podcasts because I also avoid editing those because they're just so freaking long, so long. So anyways, it's like how Instagram gives me 60-second blocks to record stories and like sometimes I'll do 4, like that's a long time. Like this is a lot. So one thing that I kind of learned or like took away, not learned, took away from the podcast with my brother was the thing that I hear the most from kind of our peers is you're so lucky that you found your person. Like you're so lucky that you're already married. And I think right now and for the past few years, it's just been hard out there with all the dating apps. So I wanted to ask your take on why you think it's so hard for people to find their person right now.
I mean, I think it's a ton of reasons, but one is just the way social media and dating apps and all those things have changed the landscape. People just get to go look at a picture of somebody they see on an app and go like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in this person. And then they have like a quick little blurb. What do they get? A paragraph or something to write about themselves and just kind of like boast about, these are all my good qualities. And then people look at that, they go, I like these qualities. I like that picture. Me and this person are meant to be together. Let's try it out. And it's like there's no deep conversations involved in it. There's no nothing. It's just, hey, I'm attracted to this person. They're attracted to me. Let's get together and see if we can make it work. And nobody gets into a relationship trying to have it not work. So people like put this effort into something that probably was never going to work from the first place. And then it kind of falls apart. And then they're like, well, that didn't work. Let me try it again. And it's just like failed attempts over and over and over again without all the deep, like, meaningful parts of a relationship involved.
I never thought about it like that. I honestly would always kind of view apps, like the dating apps, as it like changing in people's brain the like value of what another person is. And it kind of makes people like indispensable, like the ability to like,
Shopping on Amazon for a new girlfriend.
yes. And it's like, I really feel like it changes people's brains and they very quickly are like, no, no, no. And you get so stuck on things that in the long run, like, don't even really matter because
Mm.
you're basing a lot based on initial physical attraction. But I also think like true love, like lasting love, a lot of that comes slowly too, because as you get to know someone, you like deeply fall in love with that person. And I think people are looking for that type of like, this is my long term, like this is my person, but you're not giving yourself like the opportunity to like unfold that with that person, because it's very surface and it's just fast. It's like
Yeah.
go, go, go,
And it's
go,
all
go.
based off of what they posted about themselves, which is really just what they think other people wanna hear.
Hmm.
Kinda like how you were, like, an extreme snowboarder and you're gonna be a surfing chick and all those things when we first met.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am all those things.
Yeah, you had the big old Burton sticker on your car and everything. I was like, "Wow, this girl's
Okay, I was a
badass."
snowboarder. I used to go snowboarding with you and all your guy
True.
friends. Okay. And then
We weren't hitting black diamonds,
I
but
am just like a dainty little lady. Okay.
yeah.
And
But I got to know you, and even though you weren't, like, what I thought you were in the beginning, I fell in love with you.
okay, but you're making it seem like I catfished you or
You
something like
didn't
that.
catfish
I would
me.
always go snowboarding with you. I was always down for the adventure. I got on the
Yeah,
surfboards, okay? I would
and
go
that's why I
camping
fell in
and
love
sleep
with
on the
you.
ground.
That's why I fell in love with you.
You love to like your life is so hard. Your wife cooks for you and cleans for you. Your life is so hard. Um, Now you made me lose
Well,
my train
what
of
about
thought.
me? What did you first see in me that ended up not even being the case? Like, did I catfish you?
Yeah, you're not funny anymore. You just gave me these diggers, dude. No, what else did I want to say though? I don't want to lose my train of thought. Oh, something that I think people can like when you're in that dating world, I think something that might really help people weed out going on dates that they kind of never really go anywhere is to focus on like kind of some core foundational things that you need to have in alignment to be a good relationship. And I think that that's like your values
Mhm.
and your faith. And like
Which go hand in hand.
and I know you don't agree with this, but I do think when you're politically aligned too, I think it just makes life a lot easier. I know not everyone is so like pro talking about politics, and for some people it doesn't matter. I'm like passionate about it because my parents fled a country where there was no choice in politics. It was just communism and like Soviet regime. And so I love that we're in this country where you have an opportunity to pick.
Yeah, but that just goes right into like values in general.
Yeah,
But I
so
think that people don't want to talk about the hard things in the beginning because they don't want to just like, oh, I kind of like this person. They're attractive. I'm going to tell them what they want to hear versus telling them how they really feel. And you try to make it work only to find out that you guys just don't match. You're like two magnets in the opposite direction.
yes, and there's a reason that there's like a statement that like has it stands the test of time, like a house divided cannot stand, you know? And it's when you and that person do not have those core things that you're united on, it's just a matter of time. And honestly, it's up to people. Like, do you want to have those hard conversations or like maybe a little bit those bolder conversations in the beginning? Or do you want to like tiptoe around them and then have them when you're already invested for a year or 2 years? And then
Yeah.
you're basically writing your own heartache.
I think there are some things you can not get along with somebody with either, but together, like you can both mutually respect that. Like,
Hmm.
I really don't like vegetables. That's like a core thing that I stand on. You would eat vegetables and that's fine. But we
You
can make it work together.
Now the terminology is like carnivore, right? So you're lucky that there's a saving grace. I used
It's
to
cool. It's
cry.
cool now to not like vegetables.
I used to cry about how horrible Matt's eating is because all I ever wanted to do was like cook dinners for my family and stuff like that. And you eat
Salads and
horrible, like horrible. He's Irish. He eats steak and potatoes. Like the only
I like
vegetable
chicken and
you eat is
rice too.
corn. And that's not even a vegetable.
Sweet potatoes kind of a
Oh
vegetable.
my gosh. Yeah. And potatoes. Like, so that's probably, I don't want to say like my catfish of you, but
Yeah.
you with you too, like over the years, sometimes you like joke a little too
I've
hard with me,
I've turned you into somebody who's more like me though.
eating wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just ends up you wore me down, dude. I'm tired of like making
I
these
wore
meals
my
that I'm the only one who's
I wore my
eating.
parents down too. They had the full intentions of making me a well-rounded eater. It just
Mm.
didn't pan out. I have
One
the staying power.
Yeah, one thing that I want to say about you is your humor, where like over the years, sometimes you'll like do a jab at me and I'll literally just stand there and look at you and I'm like,
Stare at me with the "I'm gonna kill you" look.
no, no, kill yourself. Like, I'm like, I'm your wife. Don't talk to me like one of your bros, you know? And then you have to like,
Yeah, you remind me of that like once a month.
yeah. And you know what? I don't know if it's just like your inner boy that comes out when
Maybe.
when you're not at work and you don't have to be so serious, but I'm like, I'm a lady and I am sensitive.
Yep, and you remind me. And then I
Yeah.
reel it in for a little bit, and then I slowly get back to where I need to be, or
Yeah.
not where I need to be, but where I just end up.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But you love me.
I do. And
I
now
love
we
you
have a
too.
baby, so neither of us are going anywhere.
True.
Another thing I wanted to ask is your thoughts on, do you believe in like a one true love or a soulmate?
So we kind of talked about that on Jacob's podcast, but
Mhm.
I think both can exist at the same time. I think we were true loves and we were like meant to be. And I think that there are other people that can get into a relationship where things start slowly and then they fall in love and then they choose to be in love. Just like I talked about on the last one with like your cousin Olga had told us about how they met each other, they really liked each other. They started a relationship, they made the decision to love each other, they got married, and now they're like a happy family of what, 3 now?
Mhm.
Probably more coming, who knows?
Do you believe in like soulmates though? Do you believe like if we didn't meet when we did, we would have eventually met because we were meant to be together?
Yeah, I think everything was lined up for us to I think we had multiple times we could have met, and we just happened to meet at
When
one
we
of
did.
those times, yeah.
What did I say to you this morning about if we ended up living a different life and like we were just like
It would be toxic
yeah,
and
the toxic version of us? I'm like, I mean, you've never cheated and I've never cheated. Like one on each other, but also in previous relationships, we've never been those people. And maybe we're just watching too many shows with like dad people. So like and I think I was listening to a song and I was like, you know what? If life ended up different and like Matt was with someone else and I was with someone else, I'm like, I still feel like we would find a way to be with each other and we would like ruin those relationships to be with each other.
maybe.
I think so. Maybe we wouldn't ruin them. Maybe like those relationships would fall apart for us to be together. But good thing we don't have to think about that.
I don't know, I've seen you get a little crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to hide it.
You could do some wild things for love.
Like what?
I'm not gonna talk about it on camera.
No, I am reformed. My wild days are behind me ever since I went to jail.
That's for another day.
Yeah. So basically, that's all we have to share today. Bear with Matt as this man just looks like he has the life drained out of him because of me. once I get in a flow, he will seem more lively. We're going to go visit our dog. Look, we did that in 9 minutes. That was great. We're going to go visit our doggy. You're going to go hang out outside. You're going to get to work with the earth and trees and your tractor and logs. And you're going to be, that's what I should have done. I should have had you do that this morning and then come into the podcast. Yeah. So anyways, I still don't know what day I'm going to post these. I don't know like what day I'm going to film, but tune in next week for another episode. And if you guys want us to cover any topics or any suggestions, send me DMs because I'm still always in my DMs. And
it might take her a week or 2 or 3 to get back to you.
Yeah. Or if I have that email set up, it already is set up, the anastasiapodcast@gmail.com. Send stuff there and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Adios.
Bye.